elections, members of parliament returned to parliament today ahead of its dissolution in January 2013 amidst emotions and good wishes for those who lost their seat. Also tonight, President John Dramani Mahama has presented 6 Namibian cows to the College of Agriculture and Consumer Sciences of the University of Ghana for research towards improving the local breed. In showbiz, the Adele, the Skyfall singer who has taken a break from music after the birth of her son, has picked up 3 gongs at the Billboard Magazine Awards in the US, where she was named Top Artist of 2012. On the international front, the first funerals have been held for victims of the Sandy Hook school shooting incident in the US state of Connecticut. Please stay with us for the next 1 hour. We'll bring you the details when we return. So this is where we begin the stories now. The Commission on Judgment Debt has resumed sitting today, beginning with the collection of vital documents necessary to facilitate investigations into the payment of judgment debt. Deputy Auditor General Yahweh J. Simpa and Solicitor General Ebuakwa Gazi, who provided some document on a case codenamed CI-1-2012, were given ample time to gather other necessary documents to aid investigations.
Deputy Auditor General provided documents covering 1993 to 1999 and 2002 to 2005 and 1998 full complement of audited reports. Forensic reports were then asked to be provided, and he was given ample time to furnish the Commission with these reports. Solicitor General Ama Ebuakwa Gacy has also pleaded for ample time to look through flood files to provide the necessary documents. She submitted files on judgment debt table and letters on advice repayments. The 2009 reports known to Economic and Organized Crime Office (EOCO) were also made available but lacked suit numbers. The suit numbers and other documents must be provided on the next adjourned date, which will be communicated to the 2 top officials at the Audit General's Department.
We know how busy your office is.
Very well.
And since we are coming back after the Christmas holidays, maybe
that gives
even
us some time.
From 7th January onwards, we'll give you invitation, we'll notify you of the next hearing notice. So you start collating all the files that we have so that we can have them on the next agenda.
Very well, my lord.
The Commission sits again on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Your election headquarters on TV, radio, and online. Election headquarters, supported by
Still join news at 8 on your election headquarters. Now, the Ashanti Regional Police Command says it has recorded 11 cases of attempted murder, multiple registrations, double registration assault, post-election disturbances, among others, during and after the general elections. The police say several of these cases have been arraigned before court, while others are still under investigations. Mohammed Nuruddin reports.
At a press briefing Monday morning, the police commended the media for the excellent reportage in the region generally. However, he was quick to express dissatisfaction with some media houses whose reportage led to incitement of violence and attack on innocent people. Deputy Commissioner of Police DCOP Augustine Janin said elections in the Ashanti region were relatively calm free, and took place in a conducive atmosphere. He admonished the media to maintain the high standards exhibited during the elections. 11 election-related incidences were recorded during and after the general elections, with some pending before the courts, while others are still under investigations.
Some were multiple registration during the BVR, and then some were assaults and kidnapping. And we have summarized them. Those we have finished investigating are before court. The rest are being investigated. So when we finish with the investigation, those left will also be put before court.
The regional command also promised a handsome reward of 5,000 Ghana cedis to anyone who provides information leading to the arrest of the perpetrators of last week's Bekwai attack on the NDC chairman in the constituency.
We are seriously searching for them, that we need information. So anybody who will be prepared to help us, that amount is there for him to take.
The opposition New Patriotic Party is due to hold a peaceful march in Kumasi on Tuesday, and the police says it will provide the needed security.
We will get ourselves in readiness to police them and police everybody in Ashanti region, especially residents of Kumasi. DCOP
Augustine Janine assures residents of the region peace in the upcoming Christmas festivity.
Well, the NPP will embark on a massive peace march in the second largest city, Kumasi, to register their protest about certain anomalies in the just-ended presidential and parliamentary elections. The demonstration will be held at two separate centers in the Ashanti region, but Regional Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Police Service, in an interview on Top Story, said the police received a notice of the demonstration very late, but will still be present to maintain law and order. He, however, tasked supporters of the party who will be part of the demonstration to comport themselves. On the line with us is Mr. Tanko, the Public Relations Officer at the Ashanti Regional Police Command.
The meeting went very well. The MCP leadership in the region came to us with a letter telling us they intend to proceed on a march, that is tomorrow at about 7 a.m. But we were only worried that the letter was too late or came too late. But they told us they were sorry. It was circumstances beyond their control that did not allow them to send the letter to us early enough. And the meeting went on where we accepted to police the march come tomorrow. So I think everything is fine and we are in position to do that.
We understand that tomorrow's march will not be one unified procession. They're going to have two different starting points. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, they have two starting points. One of the starting points is the Swami Runabout, and the other is Labour. So they will, at the end of the day, come at one point and then proceed to the central post office where they will stay, and their leaders will march on to the EC's office in Kumasi and submit their petition to the EC. And they will come back and then proceed to the Abbas Park at Ashtown where a mini rally will be held.
Well, President John Mahama has presented 6 Namibian cows to the College of Agriculture and Consumer Sciences at the University of Ghana. They are to be used in research and crossbreeding towards improving milk and meat production in the local breed.
They were either overexcited or a little intimidated by the crowd and needed to react. The bull and 5 heifers are of the Brahman breed from Namibia. President Mahama explains the purpose of this presentation.
Our late President, Professor Mills, paid a visit to Namibia, a state visit. And he came up with the idea, after seeing the livestock there, of purchasing, one of them to come and crossbreed with our livestock here in order to improve the breed of the cattle. The government of Namibia also gave the government of Ghana some free additional livestock, and they have just been delivered, and Prof would have wanted them handed over to the University of Ghana Agric Research Station, both for research purposes and also for crossbreeding to improve the Ghanaian breed. And so on behalf of government, I am very happy to hand over these Brahman cows to the University of Ghana. We hope that it will help their research and that it would also help to improve the local breed that we have here.
Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Ernest Aite, expressed gratitude on behalf of the university.
University of Ghana appreciates very much this gesture. We have a livestock and poultry research center at Nungwa, and we plan to add what we received today to that stock so that we can improve on our breeding exercises and improve on the research that we do on livestock and poultry.
Provost of the College of Agriculture and Consumer Sciences at the University of Ghana, Professor Kwame Ofe, was of the view the new breed of cow into the country will enhance research at the college as well as students' practical experience.
What we're going to do immediately is to confine them and then observe them under quarantine conditions, and then look at their performance for some time. After that, then we can also crossbreed with our local stock. These are supposed to be very good stock. We know the Brahmans are very good because they have very high feed conversion abilities and are able to withstand more drought conditions than our local breeds. If they perform well under our conditions, it means that we have been able to upgrade our stock that we have locally.
For now, the cows are lodging with the owners of the land, the geese, at the Asundre Park, from where they will be transported to the Livestock and Poultry Research Center at Ashale Butchery.
So those are the Namibian cows here in Ghana. Well, as the first man of the state, he's usually reserved for very important assignments. It must have been of great importance to the president to have personally done the presentation of those cows to the University of Ghana. So if you are wondering the necessity of the whole presentation and really whether this breed of cattle are worth paying attention to, Joy News has some answers.
All the way from Namibia, the Brahman cows found their way to Ghana through former President Mills. They will be crossbred with local ones. So we followed up to where this process will be taking place.
So when these Brahman animals come, we are going to put them in these pens for the first few weeks, observe them, feed them and water them in there until we are happy with them. My initial thinking is that we won't let them go grazing. In other words, we'll bring their food to them.
So, for the rest of their lives, this is where they will be staying. What does the livestock industry stand to benefit from this crossbreeding? It appears they weigh as much as 950 kilograms more than the local ones. So really, the point is to maximize meat and milk production and subsequently revenue for the cattle farmer. Head of the university's Livestock and Poultry Center, Dr. Nazi, explains.
The local animals are generally very small animals. Okay, to my left is a head of typical West African shorthorn cattle, which is our traditional animal. These ones, maximum mature weight, not more than 250 kilos. To my extreme right, you see the Sokoto Gudali. They come from Nigeria, the Sahelian areas. You see they are also slightly bigger. Yeah. So for them, mature weight can probably go up to maximum 500 kilos. Okay. Those animals we were given today, as you can see, some of them, the mature weight is over 1,200 kilos. Okay. So there's a huge size difference.
No wonder 6 strong men could still not have their way with the cattle. We found there are basically 2 types. The local, called West African Shorthorn, and the Sokoto Gudali from Nigeria. The local ones are smaller in size and have no honks on their backs, whereas those from Nigeria are bigger with honks. When crossbred, they produce this, a medium-sized cattle with a hunk. But the Nigerian breed cannot withstand the conditions here. They easily get sick and die. He tells us, in his opinion, why it took the president to make this presentation, as well as a name suggestion for the new breed between the Namibian cattle and the local ones. Dr. Nazi tells us this breed is too big to be crossed with the local ones. They may have delivery casualties because the calf will be too big for its womb. For now, they are most likely to be crossed with the Shanga breed, which is a product of crossbreeding between the Nigerian Gudali and the Ghanaian Shorthair. The center has not seen any major developments since the 1950s, but Dr. Nazi is hopeful they will be in good hands, enough to be spread across the nation. Gifty Ando-Apia for Joy News.
So there you have it. We always go deeper into the stories to find out exactly how it would end. Now, Parliament resumed today ahead of its dissolution in January 2013, filled with emotions as members who retained their seats congratulated each other, whilst those who lost their seat wallow in sorrow. Our cameras capture some of the emotional scenes at the resumption of the House today.
It was a joyous occasion for some members as they met in the chamber for the first time since the House went on recess ahead of their campaigns to retain their seats. After winning a hard-fought battle to retain their seats, members from both sides of the House shook hands and hugged each other. Those who lost their seats were seen in an emotional conversation with colleagues, perhaps explaining how they lost their seats in the general elections. Outgoing Member of Parliament for Talensi, John Akologo-Tia, tells his story how he lost his seat.
There were some members of my party who vowed that maybe because they didn't want to see me back in Parliament, so they really ganged up with the opposition to work against me. So if you look at the results, my presidential candidate got 17,000. I'm a little over 17,000. The MPP presidential candidate got a little over 7,000. So this should have been the true reflection of the results.
Some members of the leadership were saddened by the loss of some of their colleagues.
It's painful that such characters or such individuals who were impacting so much in the lawmaking process in Parliament have lost out, have lost their elections.
For Akologo-Tia, he will miss proceedings a lot.
I will miss Parliament, especially that the experience was just beginning to, grow and to reflect in the the interest of the people. Now I'm going to go away with it, but I may apply it in other sectors.
Some of the newly elected members of Parliament were also present in the House as Deputy Minister of Finance Fifi Kwete was in the chamber to begin his learning process as an MP, even though he is not new to the House. Other prominent and high-ranking members who lost their seats, like Deputy Minority Leader Ambrose Derry, Samia Nkrumah, Catherine Afeku and others, were also present in the chamber. Meanwhile, at the beginning of public business, the Speaker congratulated all members who retained their seats and wished those who lost theirs better luck next time.
Both the victor and the vanquished should be commended for offering themselves up for consideration to be elected to serve our dear country. I am particularly impressed by your hard work, maturity and cooperation in seeing our country through yet another general election.
A few papers were laid and the House was adjourned till Tuesday, December 18 at 10 a.m.
Well, it will surely be an emotional one, parting for after like 4 years. But so, we like to get interactive. So we've been interacting with the members on our social media platforms, asking them what their expectations are of the next Parliament. Here are some of the things that they've come up with. Agree only on their interest, but draw wedge on interest of the citizenry. Bounty Benjamin says hard work and serving their constituents to their best satisfaction. Let's put Ghana first in whatever we do. Hussein Adam say they shouldn't be partisan, work for the good of the country. Segbeji Senor Emos says nothing but excellent jobs from them. Now Ismail Al-Hassan said hot debate and absolute control for the NDC. Rama Assem said better delivery of the Better Ghana agenda. After all, that's the main reason why I particularly voted for them, and this is coming from Aflau. So you can also get interactive with us on our Facebook platform at facebook.com/Joy News on TV, or you can tweet us at Joy News on TV. And we move on with other stories now. 18-year-old Julius Labi Bote has many regrets in his life. It would continue to be a scar that may haunt him the rest of his life. First, a factory machine chopped off his fingers. And secondly, his father was so shocked about the news that he fainted and died. With no fingers, he cannot go to school and does not know what the future holds for him.
In the heart of a slum at Nungwa is 18-year-old Julius Labi Bote, a JHS graduate. Poverty forced him to look for employment at B5 Roofing Sheet Manufacturing Company at Kungbaria. But the little pittance he went chasing has become a disaster that threatens to shut him down completely. He settles down to recount what may forever be a major scar in his life.
I went to work on Thursday. So as we were working, I was the one who was counting the slate, and we start at 7 and close at 6. So and we go to break at 12. So when we come back from break, around 5:30 going. So the one who was operating, who was removing the roofing sheet from the machine, went away. He said he was going to urinate. So the white one, who was our manager, was standing there. So when the roofing sheet came out, then he said he went and stuck inside. So he went in, then our manager told me to go and remove it out. So I don't know nothing about it. So when I went, I was pulling it, and someone to reverse the machine in my hand, and it reversed the roofing sheet and my hands got inside the machine.
Now he cannot do anything because he needs help from his family to do very basic things. He had already lost his mother, but the news of the machine clipping off his fingers shocked the father to death.
Yeah, very sad.
Why do you feel sad?
Because the things I used to do when my hands are there, I can't do that anymore. I have to be fed, I have to be bathed, and even when I went to private, someone have to clean myself for me. Everything has changed when they broke the news to me that my father is also dead. He got an shock and fainted, and they said they took him to Manor Hospital, and he died there. Blame myself that because of me, my father have died.
Julius looks strong, but he has major regrets. The father had warned him not to go to the factory, but he went back to collect his 3-day wage. And that day, disaster struck him. His uncle, Michael Bolabi, said B5 company paid for the hospital bills, but have now neglected them.
We went there, and they promised of coming to the hospital to look at the boy. But up to now, they have never come to see the boy. It's only one guy who was working there who came to the hospital.
Employment contractor for B5, Agatha Mandugu, confirmed the disaster to Joy News on phone and said they need a doctor's report stating the boy's full condition before compensating Julius. How much money can repair the boy's loss? This incident raises serious questions about safety in factories, particularly since the boy had no safety wear. Joy News will keep you updated on this story.
excruciating pain it would be to see your fingers chopped off. Emotional torture. We have on the line now Nana Oye-Letha. She's a human rights lawyer and also the executive director of Human Rights Advocacy Center. Hello. Hello, Nana Oye-Letha. Right, we'll still try to get in touch with her to give us some details as to how this young man can go about the situation that he finds himself in. We'll take a short break and we'll return.
God tells us He's given all of us talent to work on.
A major problem facing Ghana as a country is lack of technology.
Immediately I saw the bottles, I knew it was going to.
If you use Pozzolana cement, you stand to increase what we term the ultimate strength of your cement product.
Any of the Brimpond are executive broadcast.
Whatever you see in this car, I'll do everything in myself.
Judge the degree of innovation that they think these people are working on and offer them soft loans.
We must create an enabling environment that support Ghanaians. And I mean Ghanaians, not an enabling environment that support foreigners.
Innovation 101, coming soon on your Joy News channel, only on Multi TV.
I always want the best for my children. That's why I trust New Geisha with extracts from nature, like aloe vera, because it cares for my family's skin, naturally. New Geisha naturally cares for your family's skin.
Madam Oye-Letha on the line now to talk to us now. Hello, good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Well, so you know Julius's story. How did you take it when you first heard the news?
I was very shocked. You know, his uncle walked in with one of my distant relatives at Nungua and told me that they had this problem. And then he came in withdrawn, his hands in his pockets, you know, and he takes them out and you see the picture and you're sad because all he wanted to do was to go to the high school SHS and he just wanted to save some money. And it touched me very personally because I have a son who is also the same age, actually just a month older than Julius. So I've really taken this case up and we're helping him and providing him with all the assistance. But it's very shocking that this could happen to him.
Yeah, it's shocking indeed. So what exactly would you be suing for?
First, he needs a lot of assistance because he's gone through a lot of psychological trauma.
Yeah.
So the first thing we did, and we're very grateful to an anonymous donor who is paying for him to get psychosocial treatment. And then even the basic amenities. So we've helped him with a few clothes and stuff for himself. And we're going to sue for negligence. I can't really talk much about the case because we are now preparing, we are doing our investigations and building up a case. But we'll definitely have our day in court because you should see his fingers. There's nothing he can do. He can't brush his teeth. He can't even hold a book. He can't hold a spoon. Even when he goes to the toilet, somebody has to help him. You know, and he's just a very young boy who just wanted some education for himself.
So you've been dealing, I suppose you've been dealing with the company already. What has been their posture towards this Julius's condition?
Well, we wrote a letter and the contractor was the one who, they haven't acknowledged receipt. There's been no communication. They have provided no assistance. You know, nobody has visited him since he was in hospital. He was in hospital for several months. And we're very grateful to Professor Lane and his team at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and the emergency ward doctors and nurses who look after him, and then also Tema General Hospital who look after him.
Right. Okay, Madam Oyelitha, we're grateful for your time here on Join Us at 8. So that is Julius's story. He's just needed some money, they say. We'll be following up on that story and we'll bring you an update. Now let's move on to some other stories. A United Nations court has ordered the immediate release of Saturday of an Argentine Navy training ship seized by Ghana 2 months ago at the request of an American hedge fund. The ARA Liberated was detained October 2nd at the Tema port as collateral for unpaid bonds dating from Argentina's economic crisis a decade ago. Argentina appealed to the United Nations International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea for the ship's release, arguing that as a warship, the Libertad was immune from being seized. In an expedited ruling, the court ordered Ghana to unconditionally release the frigate ARA Libertad and ensure the ship and its crew can leave Ghanaian waters. It also ordered that the vessel be resupplied as needed. Detaining the ship was a source of conflict that may endanger friendly relations among states, the court said. Civil society group Imani Ghana had earlier expressed confidence that Ghana had a good case and could win. Vice President of Imani, Kofi Bentil from Imani, now joins us live on the phone. Hello, good evening, sir. Well, we're still trying to get Mr. Bento on the line, but as we try, let's take a quick break. Time now for your authentic business reports. Now, local content participation in the power sector is expected to increase in 2013 as power generators ECG, Grico, and other power utility companies have promised to involve more local companies in their operations. This came to light at the second VRA Local Content Forum organized here in Accra.
Ghanaian companies have over the years been relegated to the background, mainly playing second fiddle to their foreign counterparts. This has curtailed the involvement of Ghanaian companies in the power generation industry, finance and the general control of the national economy for the maximum benefits of locals. In reversing the trend, stakeholders in the power generation sector at the second VRA Local Content Forum have promised to increase the involvement of local companies in their projects and operations. As VRA spearheads the development of local content, the Chief Executive, Kweku Ando Awotwe, said the company has put in place some measures to increase the amount of goods and services procured from local sources.
We were sourcing less than 5%, very small quantity as part of our local content. So we've gone ahead and identified 8 or 9 specific areas where we think there's current local opportunity. Cables, you heard earlier today, computers, fairly low technology types of products that if we make a deliberate effort, we can build that expertise and we can build the value chain. For instance, we heard we're breaking up contracts for now. And next year we'll provide training for some of our local suppliers.
Stakeholders in the power utility sector, pledging their support to boost local content in the country, also asked for a comprehensive national local content policy that would cover all sectors of the economy. and an improvement in skills that would be used innovatively to enhance economic development.
We can only develop our capacity if we have work to do. And the more we work, the more we are able to develop our people. The young ones need to be trained. They can only be trained if they are put on jobs.
The Forum on Local Content Development offers VRA the opportunity for stakeholders to network and build up local capacity to enhance competitiveness and to create better conditions for economic growth.
So we told you we're trying to get through to Mr. Bentel of Imani, Ghana. We have him on the line. Hello, good evening, Mr. Bentel.
Good evening.
So you were confident earlier that Ghana was going to come out victorious, probably. What do you make of the court's order by the UN to release the ARB Libertad?
Well, thank you. Yes, we were quite confident because of the information we had that the court thinks otherwise. And we always like to defer to the judges of the court because they tend to see a lot more information and they tend to review many more things than maybe some of us have the privilege of seeing.
Okay.
So in principle, we agree with the court because we assume that they have seen more and this is their first judgment.
Right.
That does not, however, mean that it will not be appealed. And certain decisions like what we have now can be overturned on appeal. But barring an appeal, the court's judgment should stand and Ghana should obey.
Mm-hmm. But do you see Ghana appealing? I don't see that.
Well, it doesn't sound like Ghana will want to appeal, and for many reasons. We have a ship that is, right now best in our port, and our information is that even its presence is causing considerable problems to our port system. So, for certain reasons, Ghana may want the ship itself to leave. So for many reasons, aside the legal issues, Ghana might not appeal this matter. But as I've said, if the court decision is not appealed, then we must take steps to release the ship and let it go. What we have done is to honor our obligations under the international law, and we have done it right. Before this judgment came, our government was complying with the local and international
Hello, Mr. Bentel.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm saying that I agree with what our government has done so far because it has been honoring our obligations under international law. We have not interfered with the process.
Okay.
If at this point the judge says that the ship must go, it is proper that we just let it go.
Okay.
If we choose not to appeal.
Do you think there are any implications for Ghana if it decides to delay for a while?
I don't think so. Some of these things, they don't just happen quickly. We have a military vessel.
Yeah, okay.
Which has to be resupplied and has to be sent on its way. There may be residual issues that have to be taken care of. What I see coming out of this is all positive for Ghana. I think this particular episode has shown that Ghana is a country of law.
Right.
And whenever the judges make a decision, our executive will respect it. So our government must be given very, very high kudos for how they have handled this matter. And I commend them very highly.
Right. But finally, before we let you go, do you think that the judicial system that we have here is strong enough to deal with such magnitude of cases?
Well, the judicial system we have has proven itself to be very strong. It has dealt with this matter and dealt with it very, very excellently.
Okay.
So there's no doubt that we have a judicial system which is world class. And again, this is a credit to our judicial system, the judges involved, and our executive. We have proven that we are able to handle the most complex international commercial law cases with, the proper kind of professionalism and expertise. So this particular episode has shown Ghana as a country capable of handling the most complex cases, and I think it is a plus for us.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Bentel. So we've been talking to Mr. Bentel of Imani, Ghana. He tells us that Ghana, we have the judicial systems to deal with such magnitude of cases. On that note, we end business reports, but coming up is your smart investment tips.
evening. My name is Rashidat Kadiri. Thanks for staying tuned to the sports segment on the news. Ghana international Derek Boateng believes the time has come for the country to win a 5th continental trophy. The Nipru midfielder, who has been included in the Black Stars provisional squad for campaign in the United Arab Emirates ahead of the 2013 AFCON tournament, is optimistic about Ghana's chances.
Such an honor for me to play for my national team, to wearing the Black Star shirt in front of the Ghanaian fans, you know. And we have a big tournament ahead of us, and, you know, I'm really looking forward to it and make sure that we'll deliver, and I know by the grace of God we'll bring the cup. Yeah, I think this is the time, you know. Kwesi Appiah is such a great person, you know, outside the pitch, inside the pitch, you know. He's a person you can really trust, and I think we're very lucky, and all the players, we're so happy that he's our coach, and, you know, we are so happy to work with him and to do everything possible and make sure that we obey in camp, we respect each of everyone, and, you know, do our best. We know it's it's going to be very difficult, but, you know, it's football, you know. At the end of the day, you know, you have to take one thing, you know, either lose or win and draw. But this particular tournament is very important to us, and we're looking forward to that.
Right, so we'll be hearing from more of the Black Stars players as they get ready for their campaign in the United Arab Emirates ahead of the 2013 AFCON tournament in our subsequent bulletins. But 20 goals were scored in the 11th week fixture of the 2012-2013 Globe Premier League as Asante Kotoko came from a goal down to beat Wa All Stars by 3-1. In other results, we saw Liberty Professionals losing at home at the Karendorf Park to Dwarfs by 1-0. Amidas Professionals won 1-0 at the Tema Stadium against Edu Biase. Ashanti Gold 1, Tema Youth 1. Hearts of Lions 2, Hearts of Folk 0. Ediana Stars 2, Mediama 0. And that result sent Ediana to the top of the Globe Premier League table with 22 points. And Mediama trailed in second place with 21 points. We'll be checking out the Premier League table in a bit. But Arsenal's 1, King Faisal FC 2. Real Tamale United, they lost at home by 2-3 against Brecum Chelsea. So these are the results that happened in match day 11 in the 2012-2013 Globe Premier League. We'll be checking out who stands where on the Globe Premier League table in a little bit. And like I said, the Diana Stars results pushed them to the top of the Premier League table. So that's it. They have 22 points. Ebusua Dwarfs are in second place with 21 points. Brecum Chelsea, they are in third place with 21 points. Mediama SC follow in fourth position also with 20 points. Kotoko have moved to the fifth position with 19 points. Ashgold, Liberty Professionals, Amidas Professionals, and Nua Dibiase, they follow in that order in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th positions. In case you're wondering where Accra Hearts of Folk is lying, they're lying 12th on the Premier League table. So we have Wa All Stars, Brecum Arsenals, and RTU, the last three teams on the bottom table of the Premier League table. So Hearts of Lions there, Tema Youth on the 11th position, Hearts of Folk 12th, 13th is King Faisal, Wa All Stars, Brecum Arsenals, and RTU in the 14th, 15th, and 16th places respectively. And so these three teams, together with King Faisal, they must up their game. Maybe Hearts of Folk, they are not so safe also. They must up their games in order to escape relegation before the first half of the Globe Premier League. And just before I check out of the studio for the entertainment news with Gladys Oseredu, the 2012-2013 season is almost over and we get ready for the AFCON 2013 tournament. So Joy FM, Joy Sports, as well as My Joy Online, we have the simulcast of the 2013 AFCON 2013 diaries. It airs every Monday, Wednesday and Friday from 7 to 8 on radio, Joy 99.7 FM on the Joy Sports channel on multi-TV and online, streaming live on myjoyonline.com. Do make a date with us. But for now, my job is done here in the studio. Coming up next, international news, no, not international, but entertainment news with Gladys Oseredu. Stay tuned.